So you were born in Vietnam, and your parents are Chinese, right?
My parents are kind of, yes.
But tell me a little bit about your childhood there.
Childhood, I born in Vietnam, and I was born in the years 1968. It was very right in the years that I remember vividly, because my mom so reminders is the years is really happy and also sad, because my uncle was 18. That's my mom's youngest brother. Was killed in the same year. He just turned 18, and that's the same year as I was born.
Where in Vietnam were you born?
In Ho Chi Minh City,
Okay.
Saigon.
So in South Vietnam then.
South Vietnam.
Okay. What do you remember of those years growing up in war-torn Vietnam?
It's very it's the memory. It's both happy and sad at the same time. It's a very challenging. Life is difficult. It's not like here in American. We have everything. Over there, finding food on the table is even a challenge. Because I remember, it's like when I was 8, my dad had to, like right at 1975, my dad left. Because when the country, at the end of the war, my dad worked for the American as a translator. So he had to, because he had to get away, otherwise they would put him to to the re-educate. So somehow he had to run away, So we have not heard from him in,
Oh wow.
yeah, for a while.
And then you came to America in 1981.
1981, yes, correct. Yeah.
Tell me about the experience of coming here.
It was us. We are very lucky. My dad sponsors us, and we pretty much. We wait for a couple of years and then come here. It's almost like I back then I only stopped school like one at first grade, when come in. But here I started school 7 when I got to American. But it was the experience. It's great, I mean, I think only remember that my mom is almost like keep dreaming, how, so.
So you were about 13?
13, yeah, I got here, yeah.
And let me make sure I understood. You said your dad left in 75. Did he come to America? You said he sponsored you?
Yes.
So he came over here and then y'all were reunited?
He take him several years to get here.
Okay.
So he's not an easy way for him. He does have to go through, just go through like those small people. He have to go through travel for many years, and we didn't hear from him until so much later. Until it's like, wow, it's like we thought he was, was dead. We didn't know, So.
So you came here as a teenager, and then you tell me a little bit about what came next. You went to medical school. You ended up going to medical school, right?
No, not really. I actually come here, and I actually I have wanted to be an artist. As a parents, and my parents, I think that you wouldn't survive. They said you have to do anything, as like any parents want their child to be doctor, lawyers. So I come here and thinking that, if I'm going to school, get my science degree, study laboratory medicine, thinking that, I'm actually in the process working in the lab as a pathology technical coordinator, thinking that, I'm in the process getting to into medical school, but instead I turned around and went to Alpha and get my master's degree. So I didn't actually finish medical school, but I actually working in the hospital as a pathology technical coordinator, and having then on my side making arts,
Okay. From such a young age, what made you want to be an artist?
It's because when I first come to this country, I don't have a luxury, so I stopped school. I just started first grade when the war ended, so I didn't go to school until I come to America, and I start 7th grade. So learning the language is really a challenge. So when I started junior high, so 7th grade here, they put me into all these art classes because it's hard for you if you don't know the language. There's no way for you, so they take you into. So I'm taking a lot of art class in the junior high. So art becomes so natural for me to communicate. It's much more challenging, like writing language, and until today is still not easy. But I'm getting through over the years, and so making art, I can communicate through my work. Yeah.
How do you think your childhood reflects in the art that you make now?
Most of my work, I have segment of memories of each piece. Certain piece of work that I have, I title like memory number 1. So each of is just moment of that memories. For me, I remember vividly not having enough food at a certain time in my childhood memory, and so I would make a piece about the rice bowls with the cracks in the rice bowls and how something flowers can grow out of it, like the pebble, this whole wall floor piece on that piece. So thinking about growing up, not having food to eat and how to. So for me, New Year's is always celebration, is very happy moments, and so if I make a piece, I'm thinking about, okay, that this piece I'm going to make as a memory of my mom. And so meat is very scarce. You will not have meat. So now and then, so you get one chicken for the whole family. And so I remember so vividly the story of this piece. Mom would have a chicken, and I have 5 other siblings. So we have 6 of us. So when I grow up, Mom would not want to have a chicken and put it on the table, and then everyone won, and then the elder kids will have more than the younger kids. So Mom would take this chicken, and all of us are sitting around her. And so she cut each piece, and she asked, okay, who won this? The win, chicken wins. And someone raised their hand, so she divided up equally, and her as well. She's just divided to her. And for all these years, I have, until I grow up a little bit, realized, I wonder why my mom is so skinny, because she eats pretty much the same as all of us eating. So she eats so little, and then I wonder why all these years, looking back, she's always so skinny.
Yeah. This one behind us, at first glance, you might think it's birds.
Yes.
But it's not. Tell me about it.
Oh yes. Actually, I kind of want to make a piece about silence. And this piece I title as a memory number 30. So I have segment of memories, a baby piece. So this piece, memory number 30, silence. I use this porcelain. Those are porcelain soldiers. I have 6 different prototypes of porcelains. And it took me months to make this piece. It doesn't take one day. So the patterns you see on the top, I actually reference the sign patterns. So I'm kind of thinking through each piece. So the sign pattern away. So you take it's a kind of digitally with the signs. They actually if you sum up the 2 ways, it cancels it out, so it somehow is a silent. So the piece I kind of I'm using the music while having the soldier flowing down. So the piece kind of it's just the silent you have to experience. It's not like sometimes silence could be so deadly. Sometimes I don't know if you experience silence. Sometimes silence could drive a person crazy because we have so much ambient noise around us. So with this piece, silent, so right at the end of the war, I remember vividly, that silence is so it's not like if you win the war or you be so happy. It's not. It's that silence when the war ends. I want to capture that when the war ends, that moment silent. And the porcelain soldiers, as you look close, is very difficult for me to make each little piece without breaking the arm, breaking the legs, or all this little piece. So when I make this piece, I decided, I remember the memories of, you see so many soldiers on the street being amputated. Like you see people broken arms, legs. So that piece, I kind of like to create a memory that is so traumatic into something very calm and peaceful, and also inviting. And so for a younger audience, they look at the piece is very happy. They don't need to know the trauma behind the piece. So all the piece I have, I like to have a bit of traumas or chaos, but how to make the piece into very calm and peaceful for us to contemplate.
Okay. Is that a way for you yourself to heal from that trauma?
It is. It's very. I think mom, because she have finding food, living, growing up as a childhood is always been such a challenge. How do you? For here, you not worry about food, so all you have to do is thinking about we have everything. So back then you have to think, okay, what's the next meal? Where you're going to eat next? So the challenge is kind of is that connection. Having grown up that mom always tell me everything about go on. She did not want to tell all her other children how the problem. She want to make sure they have a happy childhood. So she maybe share the struggle with one child. So she have picked me to share that moments with. So the body of works for me when my mom had cancer while I was in grad school. My whole body of work changed dramatically because the memory are much more vivid. Because it's like how do you, it's just my mom with me is almost like best friends. So once you lost that person, it's much more dramatic. Like I have experienced death and dying at age of 8. So you see people that pass on and you just say, oh, this is part of life. And you feel it, the pain, but until you really, really have family members who really, really close to you, that hit that moment that when my mom passed on, and that pass on really hit you, then you really the whole body of work just evolve. And so when and I think she left behind. So once she passed on, my artwork is so easy to make. It's so easy to communicate. It's almost like a way you fighting this war in your memories, and how now the work can just speak itself, and for me just a fluidity of how I can make it very easily.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Okay. Where was I going? We talked a little bit before we started rolling that you watched some of the Vietnam War miniseries. What did you learn from watching the film?
I actually I love to. I have not watched a lot. I only spent like segment here. Is because the traumas of it. I don't know. I'm not ready quite to watch it all yet, but just the point of views is just amazing. Ken Burns. I think this video is just for so much for all of us to learn, and even for me, I'm growing up. I only felt like I only learned the point of views what my parents or grandparents told me as a child. It's just I don't have that experience because even though when we know that war's going on, they try to keep us. Like hiding us or some way, so we are not exposed so much of it as children or child. So having watched the video, I just realizing that just have the point of views of how the Americans, the North and the South, and we all have lived through these horrors of the war. And for me, I felt very blessed being growing up in in Vietnam and come to American. So I felt like I have the two cultures, and I have the sense of deep understanding of both cultures to see that, wow, to experience that, because you can listen, you can hear about the video, but to able to experience that and understand how the American point of view it's not easy to just tell someone, but to live here and then watch the video, I said, wow, I'm just kind of overwhelmed by it, and also appreciate having that knowledge, that wisdom to understand more. I don't know how, and I'm wow, I'm loving having peace. I felt like we repeat itself every day. You know how we should have learned something from the war. I felt like, why are we still fighting? I felt like wars never ends. I mean, I think living an American, I'm hoping you'd find peace here. Mm-hmm. We've been running away, from centuries. My parents have running away, from finding freedoms, and we're so blessed to be an American. We have so I'm kind of want peace more than anything else. I mean,
why porcelain? Why do you work in porcelain?
It is something about the it's something soft, something tactile. I love to work with material that is really soft. So porcelain to me like cream cheese, and I love cooking also. I don't know many ceramists who work does not like cooking. So I have worked with stoneware, other harder material. Then when I touch porcelain, it's so creamy and so easy to manipulate and create form. So I fell in love first time I touched it, and I guess I have hard enough working with in my lifetime with a lot of hard work. So I like to make work with using material just soft and relaxed and meditative and porcelain also are so pure, so you can have the whiteness, that you can have any color that you apply. It just the material itself just sometimes, and just have a lump of porcelain, I can just make anything with it, So make little things. Just a lump is all I need to create so many things, So it just sometimes some artists like to draw, some artists like to paint. Mm-hmm. For me, I work with all mediums, but when I work with clay, with porcelain, I said, that's it. That's my medium.
You said earlier that you are a very busy guy. Tell me about your schedule again.
Well, I was lucky enough that in the hospital they managed to let me work 4 days a week. So I work for 10 hours Monday to Thursday. So that for 10 hours keep me extremely busy. And then I have one day that I love to teach. It's more like, doesn't matter how much you learn in ceramics, until you learn much more, but if you're not teaching, it stops the flow right there. So I kind of love that one day of teaching. I learn from my students as much as they learn from me. So one day teaching. So then I have 2 days left for my studio work. And so every opportunity to have time, even the 10 hours of the days for the hospital, I love to just, even my hardest day in the hospital, I find that going to the studio kind of is like art feed the soul. It feed me. It's almost like, doesn't matter how much you give in your life, but until you go, for me, going to the studio is that time of meditation, that time of contemplation, time to reflect. And so for me, the studio time is very important. So I kind of felt like working 7 days a week, but when you love doing what you're doing, my studio days doesn't feel like work at all. It goes too fast when I'm in my studios.
What do you hope audiences get out of this show, yours and the other artists that they're exhibiting together?
Well, more of I hope that they will just open their eyes and able to see the world and expand beyond and learn from different cultures. And it's hard to we can share the experience, both of us, all the artists, we can share the experience, but really it's up to us, up to the individual who come and experience the work, and maybe travel, maybe go out and see the world, because I think we forget American is really amazing country. It's also very small. Until you travel, until you go to other place, until you go to Chile, go to Europe, go to other place, and you realizing how small and insignificant we are. Even though I felt blessed, I felt like we're a really big country, we have so much. But really, if you don't go out and experience the world, we're nothing. It's just like. So I'm hoping that they come see the work, maybe asking questions, maybe go experience the world a little bit, live a little bit more than just be in one place. You know?